Hey guys, this is Jeremy, and we're talking about AI, and today we're talking about Superwhisper. If you're not familiar with Superwhisper is a pretty cool app that you can talk to your computer, and it'll essentially turn your text, your speech into text. But it can also go a step further, right? It can not only just turn your speech into text, but it can also run it through AI. And this has been a really fantastic tool. I'm still learning to use it and expanding my uses for it every single day. But I wanted to create this video so that way we can go through all the ways that I use Superwhisper in order to really utilize AI at a more advanced level and help you use AI at an advanced level too. So Superwhisper is available on Mac as well as on iPhone. You can also download it on iPad, but I don't think it's an iPad app. I think it's just an iPhone app. And there is a Windows beta available as well. The Windows beta is available on their Discord server. So all you gotta do is join the Superwhisper Discord, and you'll have there's a Windows beta channel on there. And when you go to the Windows beta channel, there should be a link somewhere in the pins. But you still, either way, you're gonna need a license key, and there's a free way to use it as well. You get like 15 minutes for free. If you need more information, check out superwhisper.com. This video is not sponsored. I'm just this is the app that really helped me out, because for me, I find that Superwhisper, I find for me that it's a lot easier for me to talk to AI than it is to type out everything. Sometimes I have a lot of thoughts going in, and the cool thing with Superwhisper is that it really kind of gets everything combined. So one of the cool things with Superwhisper is it has different modes, right? So the modes are different tasks that you're going to be doing. You have the default mode, which essentially doesn't run any of your voice processing through any AI. It just processes your speech, and it translates it right into text. It includes all your your all those little things, all those little I don't even know what they're called, but who knows. Either way, it keeps your speech exactly preserved, and I think that's pretty cool. It's the first way I used it. I would go into Chat GPT, and I would or Gemini, or any of the AI tools that I'm using, and I would just speak to it, so that way I can speak a lot faster than I can talk. So that was the first way I used it, right? But then there's also different other modes, and one of the default modes is message mode. Message mode is pretty cool. It'll actually create a message. It'll create a message to the person that you're sending. So this is great for like text messages, or like Slack DMs, Discord DMs, things like that. For me, it's not bad. This was pretty good because it kept all my thoughts combined and in an easy and short readable format. Email is a pretty cool mode as well. So the email mode, what it does, it formats everything into a readable email. It gives the introduction, like hello so and so, and then it has the body of the text. It includes bullet points, so that way it's easy and formatted to read. It's pretty awesome. We have meeting mode, which also comes in there. It gives you meeting notes. But here is where the real power of Superwhisper comes out, right? And this is what really excites me about Superwhisper, is these custom modes. So if you go in here, you can create a mode, and you can have all these different options here. You have note mode as well, which I didn't talk about. You have super mode, which I'm not going to talk about today. We're going to talk about in a future video. But then we have just custom mode, blank. And in the custom modes, you have different, you go to custom preset, and then you create your own instructions, right? So one of my custom modes that I have is prompt mode. And this has been super helpful for me to creating prompts on the fly. So I gave these custom instructions. Let me know in the comments if you want me to share this prompt with you. But I have this purpose here, right? Create a clean AI ready prompt from your explanation while preserving your exact tone and wording. Excuse me. So yeah, purpose, right? That's the purpose of what's going to happen here, right? Then we have the input. So the input there is your explanation in plain text, right? So it's going to just put it's gonna take that's my voice essentially. It's gonna be my voice, which is the plain text. Because what Superwhisper does, it takes my voice, my speech, it transcribes it, and then it runs it through AI. Right? We have the output, which is a well-structured AI prompt that is concise and easy to follow. Rules, and then all the rules that we have here is just a few rules. Not keep all original tone language, remove filler, unnecessary wording, and use clean formatting for readability. Right? So every time I'm creating a new prompt for AI, I'm running it through Superwhisper. So, for example, here, let's say we wanted to create a prompt here. What are we gonna do? Let's do a prompt about this video, right? About what my next video is going to be, right? So, make a prompt for my next video. My next video is going to be about AI. I'm super excited about AI, and I want to share about all the uses, the ways that I use AI, including for fitness, for health, for marketing, for communications, for search engine optimization, and all these other niche and potential uses that I have for AI. Give me a list of a content calendar for what I should be doing next on my YouTube channel. So what Superwhisper is going to do, it's going to, oh, sorry, that was bad. I have to do that all over again. I was on the wrong mode, guys. That's unfortunate, but hey, that'll show you too. It took exactly what I wrote. I was on the default mode. I wasn't on prompt mode, right? So that's a cool, demo there, I guess. But we got the default mode, so just took exactly what I said and turned it to a prompt. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reread that, but I'm going to change my mode. I'm going to change my mode into prompt mode, and you'll see the green dot is going to move over to prompt mode. So that way that's going to be my mode, and I'm going to read this text, and we're going to transcribe it again, all right? Make a prompt for my next video. My next video is going to be about AI. I'm super excited about AI, and I want to share all about the uses, the way I use AI, including for fitness, for health, for marketing, for communications, for search engine optimization, and a bunch of other niche and potential uses that I have for AI. Give me a list of content calendar for what I should be doing on my next YouTube channel. All right, so now that we redid it, we're going to see what happens here. You're going to see that it's going to actually create it into a prompt format. So this is it's processing over here, and it's in prompt mode. This is Superwhisper. I should have had it probably on the screen while I was doing the recording. I apologize, sorry about that. But yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to wait for it to process. And then once it processes, we're going to paste it in here. Sometimes it automatically pastes, but because I was clicked on the Superwhisper window, it didn't automatically paste it, right? But here's the AI ready prompt, right? Transform the following explanation to a content calendar per video prompt that matches my tone. Here's my context, my tasks that I give it, a 6-week content calendar, and then we put it right into ChatGPT. Just the way it is there, and we're going to get a great output that kind of gives me a nice way to kind of get started with my content calendar going forward regarding AI. And this is just one of the ways that I use Superwhisper, right? So you'll see here, I just got a bunch of, it gives me a video script. Can you believe that? You could tell I'm not using a script right now. As a matter of fact, well, whatever. But either way, I think it's pretty cool and a nice way for people, instead of getting stuck in your own thoughts, you can look at, you can use AI, talk to it, and have it prompt AI in a way so that way you can get a plethora of information, so that way you're not stuck and you have some actions you can take going forward. I have a social media mode here too, so that way when I'm making a post on X, on Jeremy, or it's Fat Media on, let's say on X, right? My handle on X is Fat Media Empire, right? And right now we're, we used to do direct mail, but now we're shutting down the direct mail business, and we're really trying to focus on what's next. So every time I'm making a post on X, not every time, but most of the times when I'm making a post on X, I'm telling the Superwhisper that I make a post for X, and then here's the content of what I want it to be on X. So I'm just talking it out loud, essentially the same stuff that I would be typing it in. And then because of the way I have this, it's prompted here, it's going to give me a few 2 to 3 variations for different versions of what I could use. I could use one version, I could use all three on different days, which is pretty fantastic. Another thing too, which is more advanced, we're not really going to get into it, but Superwhisper also gives you all these language models to use with their pro version, right? So I have access to all of these language models available. You also have voice models as well, so it works out pretty nicely. And you can also activate it automatically when you're using the app. Like you can activate your custom code when you're in certain app, for example. Pretty cool. You can add examples. I don't have too many of that there, and you have other options here. I don't use too much yet, but you can be sure that I'm going to be using that more in the future. I have blog post mode, so I have this. Every time I'm making like a newsletter, for example, I have this as a blog post, so that way it turns into a blog post. We have repurpose mode, so I can talk about some of my content that I have already existing, kind of speak about what it is about, and it'll turn it into other versions of content. I have video notes, so that way I can play a video, and actually in this one. Okay, this works better on the Mac, but for video notes mode, it's pretty cool because if you're like the Mac will let you actually the Mac is able to listen in to your applications as well. Option that you turn on. So this works out really good on the Mac because you'd be watching a video, you have Superwhisper watch it and listen to it alongside with you. You can even pause the video, add your own notes, right? And this will give me video notes about the video. I have the email newsletter email template creation, so it helps me create a template. And then I also have a sales proposal. I used AI here to really help me with writing sales proposals. I struggled with some sales proposals because I wanted to give them so much information, but I also didn't. I wanted it to be easy to read and organized. You'll see here actually, it's to generate a professional client-ready sales proposal or estimate that clearly outlines the offer, pricing, scope, deliverables, and next steps. The goal is to create a persuasive, structured document that communicates value, builds trust, and makes it easy for the prospect to say yes. Right? So I speak about everything we talked about, like on our sales meeting, or the offer that I presented to them. I talked to Superwhisper about all those details. The cool thing too is I don't need to be, structured when I'm talking to it too. It'll just take all the pieces and be structured for me. It'll format it and it'll get, it'll create exactly what I ask it to. It'll create that sales proposal for me. So, yeah, I think Superwhisper is pretty awesome. I think it's a cool app to use. Not sponsored, not affiliated. I just really enjoy using it, and I think you guys could also benefit from using it. There's a lot of other prompts I could create, and actually, for example, let me bring over this Superwhisper Discord here. Right, so we got the Superwhisper Discord. This is the Windows beta channel I was talking about. You go to pinned messages, and over here you got the download links. All right, but even over here they have prompt hacking. So you can there's people in here sharing some of their prompts that they worked on. If you go to the pinned messages, you'll see there's somebody who worked on a full a Google Doc about their prompts. Shout out to them, because I read most of these posts, not some of the newer ones, you could tell, since August 16th. But I've read a lot of these posts when I was first working on Superwhisper, and it's been a super big help. Even look at the threads, and you can see there's a prompt library here. You can see somebody right here. You're an AI checklist creation specialist by Camille. So yeah, really cool program. Really great way to get you started into AI, and really awesome way to talk, gather your thoughts, and then have it presented professionally. Perfect for me, because sometimes I forget things and then I have to go back and type it in and figure out where it goes. I don't have to do that. I just talk to Superwhisper and it creates it for me, and it's really just like elevated my AI use to another level, and I highly recommend it. Guys, this is Jeremy. Subscribe if you want to see more AI videos, and make sure you comment down below if you want to get some of my prompts. Let me know which prompt you want, and I'll be happy to share it with you. All right. And if you have any specific interests, For example, like if you're interested about how I use AI for fitness or AI for health or AI for, the sales proposal, you want to see some of those examples, let me know and I'll make that one of my next videos. All right. I appreciate you guys. Hope you have a fantastic day. Peace.